So if you've been stuck for months watching charts, switching strategies, and still not seeing results, this might be the shift that you need. Between the thousands of traders who've watched my free YouTube content and actually made profits from it, congrats to you, and the other people that I've mentored privately in a one-on-one setting, I've seen what works and what doesn't. Specifically things that are actually going to move people forward. So this 30-day plan that I'm getting ready to talk about is going to be something that is based off of my own experience and what I've seen work for other people. And in this video, I'm going to break it down into 3 simple phases. And the first is going to be clarity through action. Second is going to be method mastery. And then third is going to be execution and feedback. All 3 of these things will finally help you get momentum inside of your trading so that way you can become a consistently profitable trader. Okay, so phase 1 is going to be clarity through action, and this should take maybe 1 to 3 days. So in terms to get the mindset shifts that you're looking for at this point, you can journal, that can help. You can write affirmations, that can help. But the only way that you're going to get true transformation is through action. And behavioral science backs this up. I don't have any quotes or anything, but basically when it comes to this, you gain a lot more confidence in yourself and in your ability once you actually take some action. You can think about it, you can meditate on it, all that stuff is good, but it's that stuff plus taking action that's actually going to help you move forward. Have you ever thought that you had to sit in front of charts all day in order to make money from the markets? Well, in this How to Trade with a Full-Time Job kit, I'm going to show you how to master trading in just 1 hour per day without sacrificing your job. You're going to get the strategies that I personally use in order to be able to make time in order to trade and learn and do whatever else I need to do inside of my life. So first thing you're going to do is write down your limiting beliefs. And if you don't know what a limiting belief is, I'm going to give you some examples right now. So one of them could be, I always blow my account, I only can win with signals, and gold is too volatile, or US 30 is too volatile, name any market is too volatile, I can't trade it, the broker sucks, all these different things. These are your limiting beliefs, and we're going to work to change those around. Step number 2 in this phase is we're going to change them around by writing out something that is the opposite of that belief that you believe. So for instance, if you say I'm always over trading, a thing that you can do to flip that around could be I only take 1 to 2 trades per day. For instance, if you tend to rely on signals, look at those markets, mark up your charts, and then just see how it plays out and see if your projections actually work out. If so, then that's basically attacking that limited belief that you need to have signals, because the proof is going to be that you marked up your charts and you've seen that you didn't. So another one could be if you have a fear of gold because you think it's too volatile. Something that you can do in that situation is take 3 trades in a simulation or take 3 tiny live trades and see how those go. Step 3 in this phase is you want to look at your actions throughout the day. And you're going to do this every single day for these first 1 to 3 days. And basically what you're going to look at is what actions did I take? So when you do this check-in, you're going to ask yourself, what did I do today that a confident and profitable trader would do? So if you need some examples of that, here they are. So some of the examples from a confident trader would be, I waited for my setup, I waited for my signal, I didn't let FOMO or signals get me into a trade that I wasn't fully comfortable with. Or, oh, there's news today, I didn't trade, or I waited until after the news. So some of those things are things that consistently profitable traders do in order to make sure that they don't throw away money needlessly because of whatever external factors may be going on. So this 30-day plan is just your starting point. If you're ready to stop guessing and get real support, I offer one-on-one coaching inside of Chart Privé or small group coaching inside of the Profitable Traders Academy. So if that sounds like a good fit for you, then go ahead and click in the description box below, apply for a call, and we'll get you closer and closer to becoming a consistently profitable trader. So now we're hopping into phase 2, and this phase should take you anywhere between 4 and 12 days. So consistency starts with simplicity. Basically, if you're trading multiple strategies, just get rid of them. You want to focus on one strategy, one market, and then stick with that for this time period. So that way you can get clarity on the setups and the things you should be looking for inside of that market. You can either trade these things live or you can do them in a simulator. However, I am always a fan of testing a very small amount, maybe a 0.01 lot size, and going ahead and doing it live. So that way you can know what it's like to really trade that asset, even though you may be risking about $5. So step one of this is going to be to focus on a particular setup. So if you don't know what setups to focus on, you could do something like break and retest. That's actually one of my favorite ones. You could also use a trend line bounce or a trend line break sort of strategy. Maybe a support and resistance break, maybe a supply and demand strategies. There's so many different strategies out there, but you just want to pick one for this time period. So that way you can get really comfortable, know it inside and out, and then from there be able to use it inside of the live market. So during this time period, what you want to do is you actually want to look at 20 different opportunities in the past using this strategy. So for instance, let's just say if you wanted to pick the break and retest setup. So what you would do is you would go to your chosen market, and then what you would do is you would go ahead and find examples of that particular setup inside of the market. And you don't want to just do this once. You want to do this for the 4 to 12 days, the entire time, because you want to be able to train your brain in order to recognize the pattern. So a lot of times when it comes to looking for these setups, I like to look on the hour time frame. That's why with the Chart With Me videos, I stop at the 1 hour, because that's the time frame that I'm doing a lot of analysis on usually. And I'm also using higher time frames as well as it calls for it, but generally H1 is one of my favorite time frames. And then you may want to hop down to maybe even the 30 or the 15-minute time frame just to see a little bit more detail when it comes to that particular strategy that you may have chosen, to see if you can read the candles easier on those lower time frames with more detail. Another thing you want to do is you want to go back and look at the setup, and then you also want to know what time that happens, because a lot of people talk about, I don't know what time to trade. It's a lot of different factors that go into that. Some of it is the availability that they have, and then also it could be the time that their market is active. So by you doing this exercise and then also taking note of what time these things occur, it'll give you a better sense of when you should be in the market if it fits your schedule. So the next step in this phase is you want to take 3 live or simulated trades. So I talked about being a fan of taking a 0.01 lot and just letting it play out. That is something that you should really be doing, because if you've done the previous steps, then this step should be a lot more simpler, because you know exactly what you're looking for at this point, and you're risking such a small amount of money where it shouldn't even matter. So the next step in this phase is to take 10 simulated trades. Basically what you want to do is you want to use the replay tool in TradingView, or maybe some sort of simulation software, and just pay attention to once that trade is put on in simulation. And then you also want to look at the risk to reward ratio, not really focusing on it a lot, but you just want to take note of it. And then when you're taking these trades in this simulated environment, you want to make sure that you log your emotions and all these different things that you may have been seeing or noticing inside of the market at that time. And these are going to serve as really good notes for you in the future when you go back to trade this particular market. So this actually reminds me of one of the traders that I was working with in the past. And basically he was jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy every other month. He was confused and frustrated and didn't really understand what was going on. And it was mainly because he didn't give the strategy, at least any of these strategies, enough time to really play out. He didn't take the steps that I'm telling you to do. And once he did this, he found a lot more consistency in his trading, and things started to make sense. And he was just so amazed at how much progress he made in such a short amount of time. That's why I titled this 30 days. And if it works for him and he was paying me for this information, then it could work for you as well. So if you're learning something new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video, so that way you can be notified of other videos that I post on this channel. And at this point, I'm currently posting videos on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So go ahead and hit that notification bell, so that way you can be notified of any new videos. So if you're committed to following this 30-day plan, then go ahead and comment 30 days in the comment section below, so that way I can personally celebrate your success and your commitment to your trading journey. And you're not just passively watching this video, you are taking action and you are on the right path. So definitely comment that below, and of course subscribe. So phase 3 is execution and feedback. And I know at some point in this video I may have gotten a little ahead of myself, but my favorite way to test different strategies is to go ahead and use a live amount of money inside of a live account. So what that can look like is actually a 0.01 lot size, and it doesn't have to be your regular risk amount, whatever that may be. Just using a 0.01 lot size in whatever market that you're choosing to trade trade, it's going to help you out a lot, because what it does is it exposes you to the real feelings and things that you would feel inside of a live market. That's one of the things that demo cannot give you. I want you to do that first because it's going to be easiest and low friction, but I want you to really focus on this right here, executing with real live money. It's my favorite way of testing anything inside of the market. So step one in this is you're going to take 5 to 10 trades over a period of 1 week using these 0.01 lots, and you're going to stick to just the setup that you chose, whether it's break and retest or trendline break, bounce, whatever. Stick to that one thing. And then after each trade, you want to ask yourself, did I follow my plan? Did I stray away? You want to make note of that. And at this point, you shouldn't really worry about profit. It should just be about the mechanics of it, making sure that you're following the steps inside of the trading plan. That's the thing that you have here, your trading plan, and executing on that. And then at the end, you want to grade your discipline. So give yourself an A through F. If you follow the plan 100%, A plus. If not, then give yourself maybe a C or D or even an F. Don't be afraid. Nobody else is going to see it. It's just going to be you looking at it. So step 2 inside of this phase is going to be every single Sunday, you want to spend about an hour looking at the past trades, analyzing your trade setups, and just seeing what you can do better. You want to ask yourself, was I early? Was I late? Did I hesitate? Did I trade emotionally? Was this somebody else's signal? All these different things, you want to note that in your trading journal. And then once you've gathered that data, then you want to pick one thing that you should focus on for the upcoming week, so that way you could gradually improve. I've created another community here on School called Consistent Profitable Traders. And if you want to join, you can go to school.com/traders in order to join this free membership. I have a number of things here inside of the community. You can see that the community is growing. There are people being added almost every single day. And then inside of the classroom, I do have some things here. I'm constantly adding new things, new resources for new traders. And if you go over to the calendar, then you'll see that I have a monthly call with everybody inside of this group. So if you want to join this community, go ahead and go to school.com/traders, and I'll see you there. So step 3 in this phase, you want to get real feedback, not just noise from random people on the internet. So one of the things I did when I was early in my trading journey is that I avoided free groups because there was just so many different strategies and opinions that weren't necessarily in alignment with the person who was hosting it. So if you're serious, find a mentor, one-on-one, or a small group that is paid, yes, that's going to give you the feedback on your setups, because that's going to be the thing that really helps you. And one thing to realize is that the real cost of not getting help sooner is going to be the fact that you're going to be stuck for months or even years because you haven't gotten that real feedback from somebody who's been there and done that in terms of becoming a consistently profitable trader. And if you want my help directly, then I have one-on-one and small group coaching that you can find the links in the description box below. One of them is an application process, so just fill that out. And if it's a good fit, then we'll have a conversation and talk about the next steps. So go ahead and check those links out in the description box below. So when it comes to this execution phase, even in my own journey, I did 0.01 lots, and I was so nervous when it came to that $5 fluctuating. It felt like it was $1 million, but it got me used to seeing the market and the movement. And now when I see those fluctuations, even though I'm trading bigger lot sizes or higher dollar amounts, basically I know exactly what's happening inside of the market and I don't trip about it. I just let the market do what it does. And, hopefully it hits my TP in a reasonable amount of time. If it doesn't, that's cool too. As long as I'm up, then, if I'm satisfied with the profit, then I'll just take my profit and just go about my day. So it all depends on you. And those are some of the decisions that you can make once you're actually pulling money outside of the market. So it's not really about the size of the trade that you're putting on. It's about the confidence that you have behind it. So if you made it this far, I want you to know that first, I'm proud of you. And second, that this 30-day plan is just the beginning. If you're ready to stop guessing and get that one-on-one support, then go ahead and check out the links below. below. I mentioned it before, either small group coaching or one-on-one. You can work with me directly in both situations. Just apply using the link below and we'll see if it's a good fit. And one thing I want you to know is that I keep the groups small on purpose, mainly because I give direct access to people in the one-on-one. They can text me if they have questions. So they'll have my number where they can text me directly and get my feedback either on setups or some idea that they have, just to be able to get that almost real-time access to me. So if that's the kind of support that you're looking for, go ahead and click on the links below. And if you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.